So why do we continue to have this feeling like God is mad at us all the time? A lot of people do. A lot of times because they feel guilty of their own sin, or they just don't understand their relationship with God. They see him as more of a authority figure, always mad at them. But the Bible tells us that we get to know God through his son, Jesus Christ. To know him is to know God. He was God. And, we emphasize certain things usually in church and in our faith. We talk about God's holiness, we talk about the suffering, we talk about the authority, and all rightly so. But Jesus used more than that. He used wit, he used delight, he used warmth, he used playful surprise. He taught people with those things and was very lighthearted. And until we get to know the lighter side of Jesus, sometimes we just don't see him properly. We don't see him the way that he wants us to see him. Jesus taught that way, and he over-exaggerated sometimes to prove a point. He showed up at celebrations and encouraged people to celebrate. And he talked about things that had to do with the heart and loved people wherever he went. That's your relationship with God. Irony. He used irony, overstatements a lot. Matthew 23, verse 24 says, "You blind guides, you strain out the gnat but swallow the camel." But nobody was swallowing camels. He was proving a point. And they didn't forget that illustration. Or here's another one. Matthew 7, verse 3. "Why do you look at the speck in your own eye?" In your brother's eye, excuse me. Why do you look at the speck that's in your brother's eye, but you don't notice the log that is in your own eye? Did anybody ever have a log in their eye? No. But you didn't forget that example either. And obviously they prove a point. Jesus wanted to make a point, and he used irony sometimes. He used overstatements. Mostly he used love. And the way that he loved people unconditionally, unexpectedly, was awesome. And he simply asked us to return that back with him, to establish that kind of a relationship, to begin to see things from a different perspective, from the perspective of the heart. One of the great mugs that we have is this one, and I love this statement. It says, "Open the eyes of my heart." Such a great, great picture. And these are available, of course, with Headbangers BREW in it, our very own coffee. But, this is the important part. Open the eyes of my heart. Open the eyes of something that goes deeper than just emotion or, quick response or whatever it might be. Open the eyes of my heart. Get to know the lighter side of Jesus. And when you're developing that relationship with him, remember this side of him, because that's who the relationship is with. Don't forget, folks, you are blessed. Go and be a blessing.
Anybody want coffee?